Hello, Jimmy J's here, and as you can see from the screen, there is the big word help, and there's a good reason for that. It's because I've been getting a lot of questions about the upcoming training that we're doing tomorrow, and the question that I've been getting a lot of is, what should I name my meetup group? What's the description? How should I name it? And a lot of people are wondering, what type of a group should I create? And after reading through a bunch of questions and reading through people that have already started a group, the thing that I noticed is that there's a lot of people who are looking at Meetup completely wrong. They're thinking about creating a Meetup group around their business or their product, where the group description is about, what they sell or what their business is. And the thing that they're planning to do at the Meetup group is basically a presentation to show people right from square one exactly what it is that they do. And basically, that's the same as if you went into a Starbucks and you just set up a presentation board and just started doing a presentation to strangers. It's going to have the exact same effect. So today I'm going to help you with how to position your meetup group and how to create one that's going to attract people and make them want to come to you. So first things first, if you don't know what to name your meetup group and you don't know what type of a meetup group to start, I know that feeling exactly. So no one really taught me anything other than go recruit your warm market. So that's what I tried to do. And once I had talked to my whole warm market, then I tried to go out and meet people cold market, and I tried to use the exact same techniques and the exact same strategies with cold market of what I was using with warm market, and it just didn't work. And I see a lot of people that are trying to do the same thing with Meetup. So what I want you to know, first of all, is you're not alone, and it's not your fault. It's pretty normal to try to go right for the sale when your warm market is exhausted and you're meeting people for the first time and you're, needing to get some additional people to join your business or to buy your products. Especially if you've been taught that the only thing that you need to do to be successful is to share your product or your business with more people. And most experts will tell you that you should always be selling, that you should always be sharing your products and your business, which is usually the opposite of what actually works. You don't make friends when you're trying to prospect. You just don't create relationships that way. So if you've tried creating a meetup group that is just about your product or your business, and you've had no one show up or no one has come back for a second one, I've been there before, and here's how to fix it. So what we want to talk about here is how to get people to find you and how to have fun in the process. So instead of thinking about Meetup as a one-step type of a thing, instead of thinking about it like a trade show where you get a booth, meaning a meetup group, and you just sit there and present your product and your business to everybody that comes by, I want you to break it up mentally into a couple of different steps. So you're going to want to think about this in 3 phases. Phase number 1 is you want to figure out exactly who you want to meet. So number 1 is, who do you want to meet? Number 2 is finding out what those people want to do. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And then number 3 is you want to make friends. And when it's appropriate, go ahead and prospect your friends and show them, your product or your business or, whatever that is when it's appropriate. So the first step here is, who do you want to meet? And this is really interesting because I was introduced to the world of entrepreneurship through a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and an author named Robert Kiyosaki. And I was fortunate enough to see him speak live one time. And he said, what is the number one reason to own a business? And everybody in the crowd just started yelling out answers. They'd say, because you can make more money, or because you can get passive income. Somebody else would yell, because of the tax benefits or the freedom, because you get to work from home. And people kept rattling off all of these answers, like leverage. And Robert Kiyosaki just sat there and shook his head. And he said, those are all great reasons, but the number one reason to own your own business is that you get to choose who you spend your time with. He said, as an employee, I have to sit beside whoever they put me beside. I have no choice in who I get to spend, the majority of my days with and the majority of my life with is determined by, whoever my boss hires to sit beside me. He said, as an entrepreneur, I get to choose who my business partners are. I get to choose who my customers are. I get to choose who I spend my time with, and I get to choose who I spend my life with. And in that moment, I thought, wow, isn't that an interesting perspective? Here I am thinking that anybody who could fog a mirror, I would, as long as they had a credit card, I'd sign them up. And here's Robert Kiyosaki saying the number one reason to be in business is you get to choose who you spend your time with. So what happens if you quit your job and you earn freedom through your business and you can't stand the people that you're in business with? I mean, what's the point of having freedom if you're around people that you don't like all the time? So what you need to do is you need to move from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Rather than thinking, hey, there's not enough people that want to do this with me, and I just have to, try to convince people to do this with me, or find all the people that want to do this. Instead, change that to there's not enough hours in the day to work with everyone who could possibly want to do this. And so rather than trying to chase people and trying to go and get all of the ones that would possibly want to do this with you, because in your mind there's not enough of them, and switch that to an abundance mentality where it's literally there's so many people that want to work with you and you don't have enough time to work with all of them, that you need to be selective in who it is that you want to work with and you want to spend your time with. And even though it might not feel like that all the time, that is the truth. I mean, there's 6 billion people on the planet. There's more than enough people out there that want what you have to offer. It's just a matter of finding them, having them come to you, and then positioning yourself properly. So the first thing you want to do, step number 1 here, is you want to figure out who is your ideal business partner. Now, we call this in marketing creating an avatar. And it's funny because it's a very, very normal term inside of marketing, and it's a very unusual term inside of network marketing. So it should be normal because network marketing is marketing. So an avatar is just a group of people described as a single person. So you're just talking about describing it as if it's a one singular person. So here's an example of how you do this. And before the webinar, I highly suggest that you take a piece of paper and a pen and you just write down an avatar. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. Way number 1 is you can just sit down and think about who do you think is the type of person you'd like to be around a lot, and who would you like to attract into your business. The second way to do it is to just look at kind of the past. So if you say, well, who are some of the best business owners that I have? And then think of one of them and just start writing down some traits of that person. Or from the customer standpoint, if you want to meet more customers for your business, think about who's a great customer that I have and start writing down some things about them. So we're going to say our avatar, and literally you want to do this as if it's an individual. Write it down exactly like I have on the screen. So we'll say her name is Joanne. She's a female, 27 years old. Her hobbies are fitness and being outdoors. The books that she likes to read is John Maxwell and some leadership things. Her interests are being healthy and being in nature. And family is that she's married and she has an 8-year-old baby. Now, 8-month-old baby. So this might seem like it's a little bit, over the top, but I'm going to show you in a second why this is so important. So step number 2 is you want to see, what does she want to do? What does your avatar want to do? Because what you need to know is that Meetup is a website about doing. It's a website about doing. People join Meetup looking to meet other people with similar interests so that they can do these activities together. So, instead of thinking this through the lens of what do I want and what do I want to meet, think about this as what are the people on Meetup, what do they want, what are they looking for? And go and look at some of the successful Meetup groups, and what you'll find is all of them are Meetup groups where they're doing something that is interesting. So start creating a list of things that your avatar would like to do, and hopefully it's something that you would like to do and that you love doing anyways, because that way you're going to be enjoying your time as you're hosting your Meetup group. Now, some people ask, should I lead with the business or should I lead with the product? And that is a very good question. Here's what I say. I say lead with friendship. You're not talking about your product first or your business first. You're leading with friendship. You're leading by adding value, and you're making people want to find you. So your first step is not selling somebody a business, and it's not selling somebody a product. Your first step is making a friend, finding out what do people want to do, and being associated in their mind as being somebody who's a leader, as being somebody who adds value. And I'll give you an example of that a little later on as we go through this. Once you've done that, then at that point, you can talk about the business or the product. You can do whichever one first that you prefer. Whatever works for you normally, whatever you're good at, stay within that strength zone. And that's what I would talk about after you've made a friend. Okay. So now we're going to say our example here when we're thinking about what do we want to do? What do we want to make our meetup group about? Well, we're going back to our avatar here. She's a busy mom. So here's just a random example. You could create a meetup group where once a week you go for a stroller run, right? It's a mom, she has kids, an 8-month-old. So once a week you could go out as a group and just go for a jog with your strollers. Have 5, 10, 15 moms who are all just going for a jog with you with a stroller. You don't need a location to do that. You don't need any special skill sets to do that. You just create a group, and that's something that person, that avatar, would enjoy doing. And while you're doing this, you're going to have lots of time to be able to meet other moms. If they enjoy going for a stroller run, even if they don't join your business or ever buy your products, it's possible that they're going to invite friends to come with them to stroller jog with you, and you're going to meet all of their friends and all of their moms. And it's just this big virtuous circle where you get to meet more and more of your target market. Now, the goal here is twofold. Number one is you want to meet the exact type of person that you want to spend time with. And number two is you want to do something that you enjoy and that you're passionate about. And it really is a big key, number two, to do something that you enjoy and you're passionate about for a couple of reasons. The first one is when you're doing something that you enjoy and you're passionate about, you're meeting people when you're in your element, when you're in you're the best version possible of you. And, you're fun, you're outgoing, you're energetic, you're confident, and you're the person that other people want to be friends with and want to follow because you're doing something that you enjoy versus doing something that, you're totally uncomfortable and people can sense that you're uncomfortable and you're awkward and they want to get away from you. The second reason why this is so important is if you've ever procrastinated building your business and you've ever procrastinated, doing the uncomfortable things, it's because it's stuff that you didn't like to do. So the easiest way to find time for your business is do something that you love. And it's amazing when you're doing something that you love and that you want to do anyways, that all of a sudden you have all the time in the world to be able to do it. And sometimes in this example, it might even mean that rather than going to the gym and running on a treadmill, that you get to do this instead, which means now it's time that would have been wasted on a treadmill is now time when you're actually growing your business. So that is the twofold goal. Number one is to meet the exact type of person that you want to spend time with, that you want to meet for your business and that you enjoy being around. And number two, you want to do something that you enjoy so that you love the process and you want to do it all of the time so that you're always meeting people for your business. Now, here's a little note. If the activity that you do also fits your product, that is a bonus. That's fantastic, but it's not necessary. In other words, if your network marketing company is where you help people start a gold savings account, and the person that that are the best business builders in your team are moms with young kids because they want to make enough money to be able to stay home with their kids, then you could have a stroller jogging meetup group, which has nothing to do with gold. And that's absolutely fine because you're going to be meeting a whole bunch of brand new moms. And you know that a percentage of them, are going to want your product or your service or the benefit that you have to bring. So it does not have to be related. Obviously, if you have a fitness related network marketing company and you're meeting people that want to jog, that's an even better fit. And that's an even bigger bonus. All right, so here's some examples. So we talked about some things that you could do. Here's my friend Billy Joe. She has the Edmonton Single Travelers Meetup group, and I absolutely love this group. And if you have a travel business, I definitely recommend that you steal this almost word for word because it is a fantastic way to be able to meet people that want to travel. If you're not single, you could change that part up, or it could be your city, and it could be Generation Y travelers, or it could be baby boomer travelers, whatever you want. But the point here she has this group and they can't be traveling all the time. And her group isn't about, hey, come to my house so that I can show you a World Ventures presentation. Okay. The goal of her group is let's get together and do travel related stuff, fun stuff. So what are some of the things that they do in her group? Well, first of all, there's 3,117 members, so let's get that out of the way. It's a big size group, and it's definitely working. And you can go and check out some other groups, and you'll find groups that have 17 people and 52 people. And the reason that Billy Joe's group is so successful is because of the things that she does. So at Edmonton Single Travels, we enjoy fine dining, wine tasting, whitewater rafting, ethnic food cooking classes, hiking, movie nights, cabaret, dance lessons, new in town, sports and recreation, fun times, friends, coffee, tea socials, comedy club, and adventures. So all of those things aren't necessarily getting on a plane and going somewhere, although they absolutely do that as a group as well. But they're all of these different types of things that people who travel like to do. If you like to travel, you probably enjoy ethnic food, right? If you like to travel, you probably enjoy wine tasting, or you probably enjoy socials, or maybe going to a comedy club. So these are all things that people like to do. And so as a result of that, she gets to meet a huge number of people. Here's another one. This is Lose Weight, Get Fit, Have Fun. And this one was founded just over a year ago. So in just over a year and a few days, this group now has over 1,800 people that have joined it. There's 1,800 people that want to get out and they want to do some fitness related things. So, what do they do in this group? Well, it's a community for supporting, socializing, and working together towards their own goals. Some activities will be laser tag, aquasize, softball, bowling, hiking, CrossFit, trampoline park, yoga, archery, rock climbing. So these are all fun things that people can do. And when people come out, they pay their own fee. And a quick aside, the organizer of this group, anytime they go somewhere, if they go to a trampoline park, she says, hey, I'd like to make a reservation for 27 people. And if I bring 27 people, can I come in for free? And they always say yes. So there's some extra perks that you get as well. So every time you have an event like this, the people are, they're paying their own way. And on top of that, she actually charges $10 for an annual membership. So $10 to be a part of the group. And remember when I said earlier, do you lead with a product or do you lead with a business? And I said lead with friendship and lead with value. When Kat started her group, a quick tip for you, one of the first things she did was her first few meetup groups, she went on and found a Groupon that was like, 2-for-1 archery. And so she posted that in the group and said, hey, we're going to go archering. And by the way, here's a 50% off coupon. Or, hey, this time we're going to go to yoga. And I have a friend who owns a yoga shop and she's going to let everybody in for free for one session to try yoga. So she's leading with value and adding value first so that people look at her as a leader and they look at her as a giver, not a taker. By the way, Kat also started another group in a different city, and she has other people that runs that group for her. And that group is also, it's actually over 2,000 members now. Between the two, she's got over 4,000 members that are people that want to work out. Now, if you're in a network marketing company that has any type of, health products or fitness products or weight loss products, what would it mean to you if in a year from now you had 4,000 people that you could send an email to? 4,000 people where a good chunk of them have come out and done something fun with you and you've made relationships with. What do you think that you could turn that into as far as business builders and customers? It's absolutely unbelievable. And I mean, you could do that, or you could have 15 people in your group and have your group be about, hey, come out and check out my opportunity. And people aren't going to join and they're not going to, they're not going to come back. You're certainly not going to get 4,000 people in a group that's about, hey, come learn about my network marketing company. And in fact, lots of times Meetup will shut you down if you do something like that. Part of the terms of use of Meetup is you have to agree to do in-person meetings where you're actually doing stuff together as a group. So that's what people want. It's going to be more fun for you. It's going to grow a lot faster. And again, just think about it in two steps. Step one is you're going to meet a bunch of people. And then step two that's when you're going to introduce your product or your company. And you know what? The best thing for Kat, she said, the best part is the friends that I've made as a part of this group. So when you're hosting a Meetup Club, you're going to absolutely love it. You're going to be doing something that you enjoy anyways. It's not going to seem like work, and the time is going to fly by. A year's going to go by anyways. 3 months are going to go by anyways. You may as well have people that are being attracted to you and coming to you looking for something to do and looking for new friends. So I really hope that you found this helpful. If you've liked the things we've gone through so far, you're going to absolutely love tomorrow's training. We're going to be talking about the 5 steps of the Meetup launch method. We're going to be talking about how I use the Meetup launch method to recruit 20 people in 30 days. Specifically, it was 25 people in 21 days. So we're going to talk about how to recruit 20 people in 30 days. We're going to talk about how to transition from having a fun Meetup event and how to turn that into a sale. So exactly what to do to transition the conversation into bringing up your product or your business. We're going to talk about the absolute best Meetup group if you want to attract business builders. So if you want to find more people that not are just customers, but people that want to build a business, people that already think like entrepreneurs, people who already want residual income, I'm going to share with you the absolute best Meetup group that you can ever create to find business builders. And I'm going to give you one simple trick that will allow you to take over existing Meetup groups, and you can literally add hundreds of people to your list overnight just by taking over one existing Meetup group. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So make sure you check your email in the morning for some reminders and some links. And we are going to be getting all ready here for the webinar. So I'm very excited. Thanks for taking the time to watch this pre-training, and excited to see you on the webinar right away here. So I'll talk to you then.